This is the world's #1 Air Force. There is no other. All others flee when the U.S. Air Force shows up. The first thing required of an Air Force officer is leadership. Our task, our responsibility is to defend that flag, to fight and win the nation's wars when it's required. If there was anything most special about the Air Force beyond the responsibility to defend the country, it's watching your people succeed. How far you go is determined by the quality of your effort. Doesn't matter where you were born, or your parents' names, or how much money you had, or any of those external factors. The U.S. Air Force doesn't care where you came from. It cares about where you're trying to go.
I'm Christian Lewis, First Lieutenant in the United States Air Force.
Hi, I'm Carl Jackson.
My name's Captain Anthony Pickett.
I'm Captain Lisa Wilson. I am an electrical engineer.
I'm Colonel Mona Lisa Tucker. I'm the Director of Communications at Headquarters Air Education and Training Command.
Major General A.J. Stewart. I'm the commander of the Air Force Personnel Center here in San Antonio, Texas.
Growing up with a single mom, I knew that one of the best ways to get out of that sense of poverty was to excel in academics and education. That seemed to be the ticket out of that environment.
Not many of my brothers and sisters actually went to school beyond high school. And I was the first one to actually go to a four-year institution and graduate.
Some teachers and counselors realized how well I did in math and science, and they tried to kind of push me toward the hard sciences and engineering and things, and that's what stuck.
Ever since I was a little kid, I've dreamed of being an Air Force officer. More specifically, being in space as an Air Force officer.
Because I wasn't that familiar with military service, and it wasn't, readily apparent that I was going to be going to the Air Force. I just kind of thought I would prepare myself for going to college.
There are multiple paths to becoming an officer in the Air Force. You can come through Officer Training School, known as OTS. You can come through ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Corps, or you can come through the United States Air Force Academy. With a commission from any of those sources, you are an Air Force officer.
I got a world-class education. You cannot beat the academic education that the Air Force Academy provided to me. It's an interesting thing about the Air Force Academy. They weren't looking for necessarily the 4.0 student or the All-American. They were looking for a combination of both. They were looking for the whole person. Graduating from the Academy, almost every career field in the U.S. Air Force was open to me.
You can't become an officer in our Air Force without that college degree.
We expect our people to seek education, enlisted and officer. We expect them to seek higher education as a matter of course.
I picked up a scholarship while I was in college at Tennessee State University. They've also paid for a master's degree. I'm pursuing a second master's, and it's all because of some of the benefits that have been afforded to me in the Air Force.
We are very selective about who gets to wear this uniform.
It never ceases to amaze me that people will want to come up to me and talk to me and to thank me for my service. And again, I'm humbled by the fact that they would do that.
And even your peers that you went to high school with, and they see you now, wearing the uniform and kind of being successful and accomplishing something. They're thanking you, and they're even telling you how proud they are of you. And I wish that I had maybe considered that when I was, when you were doing that at the time. So it's just a great feeling. Today, joining the Air Force and becoming an officer is highly competitive. We take America's best and brightest. That's who we're looking for. In order to become one of those officers, you need to be a standout performer from high school and college, frankly, to be given an opportunity to join our ranks as an Air Force officer. You have every opportunity in the world. You just work hard and have a lot of enthusiasm about whatever it is you're doing.
There is no ceiling. Not once in my 30 years have I ever been denied an opportunity. Have I been discouraged?
Work hard, and opportunities will open up to you.
Pick what you want to do and go for it.